We're a little bit after the 6 o'clock hour. If you have any questions, go ahead and let me know and we'll get started. Could I have a volunteer, please, to, oh, okay, Gary. Gary has the microphone. If you have a question, please raise your hand and Gary will come to you. We want to be able to capture all of the questions and answers so that the people that are on Zoom will be able to hear it and our recording of the meeting will be all inclusive.
Okay.
If you don't talk into a microphone, then your voice is lost, even though we may hear you in the auditorium, people won't be able to hear you on the recorded Zoom message session. Okay, I think we're ready now, so if anyone has a question? Yes, Gary.
Yeah, we have a question here.
Yeah, okay. I would like to come for the either September 11th or 21st of September class.
Okay,
Sort of a review. Now, when I come, do I bring a laptop, an iPad, or just come and listen?
you can do either one. If you want to have a specific question that relates to your computer and you want us to show that during the session, then it would be very good to bring your equipment so that we can actually set up a Zoom session, tie it to the rest of the program, and then everyone on Zoom and in the office will be able to see it. Otherwise, it's a little difficult. I know a lot of times we have during this Q&A, we just have what is the question, what is the answer without a demonstration of that. It's always better, you know, show and tell really tells a lot more than talk and talk. So yes, if it's convenient. Now, if you have a desktop and it's not convenient, don't worry about it. But if you have a tablet or a laptop, then please bring that. And if you have a laptop, you'll probably want to bring your power cord also. Okay, you don't need, if you have a laptop, you don't need to bring a mouse or anything like that. Unless you're more comfortable using a mouse. I never use a mouse, I hate mice. I hate the little squeaky kind that walks on the floor, and I hate the ones that you use with the computer. So I always use my trackpad, it's a whole lot more reliable for me. Okay,
Thank you.
very good. Any more questions? Yes.
Hold on.
Hold on a second.
Okay, so when you have Google Photos and you bring up your Google Photos, okay, and you create an album,
Okay,
how? And I know you can't delete them because I tried that and I lost my pictures. Is there?
well, that's what you'll do if you delete it.
Correct. So is there any way to hide some of those pictures? Because when they come up, all your pictures, is there like a folder maybe?
Yeah, everything that's on there is going to be in a folder. You can set up, each album is another folder.
Correct.
So you can have as many folders, albums as you wish. You can set up, if you want things that are private, you don't want them shown, you can move them into a separate folder that has a security key. Just like a password that you would have on a document or on your laptop, you could set up a password for that particular album or folder. And it would be, and you can also, I believe, make it so that it's not even seen. But that's another level of security.
But what I'm talking about is when you bring
Talk
up,
into the mic.
oh, I'm sorry. What I'm talking about is when you bring up all your photos and you have all these photos displayed and it's so hard to go through them. Is there any way, even after you created your album, to kind of get rid of some of those photos so that they all come up and you see them all at the same time?
Okay, again, I would set up either a separate album. Or I would set up another path where to use. Now, Google will do two things. It has a date generated way of searching for your photos. And it also gives you the opportunity to put them in albums so that you can search based upon a topic. So those could be based upon like a particular vacation site that you went to, a birthday, whatever. But it's not date specific. The date order is date specific, and if you know kind of the timeline that you were using, you could scroll through that. Now, another thing you can do, it's a lot more labor intensive, is that instead of letting it just generate the name of the photo, like if you take a photo on your phone, it's going to give it a name that is basically the date and maybe something else related to the settings or something on that particular photo, or just a numerical sequence following the date. If you want to rename that, like maybe it's Bahamas vacation and you want to rename all of these particular pictures so that if you searched for the word Bahamas, all of them would come up, nothing else would, even if it wasn't in a specific album. And if you had some of them in the album that were specified to be Bahamas, and others that was in that were also in the Bahamas album, but were not labeled with a name that started with the word Bahamas or in it, they would be sorted differently. So try those things, or come in the office and show me what you're doing, and we'll put together a directory for you. I did that last week with or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was, with another individual, and we went through. She had a whole slew of different files and folders on her desktop. The whole thing, you couldn't see what design was behind it because you had all these icons and she couldn't find anything. So we set up about 10 or 15 specific albums, so she still wanted to put everything on her desktop, but she wanted to just be able to access them more easily. So we set up different folders and then put the particular documents into that. And then after we did that, we actually changed the icon. So it didn't just look like a folder. We changed the icon to be representative of what was in that particular folder. So if it was financial, we put like a big dollar sign. If it was, let's see, if it was movies, we put like a movie strip or a movie camera as the icon for that whole folder. So you can do that in Windows, and it makes it a whole lot easier to locate things then. Okay?
I have a question.
Yes.
Taken off with her. There's like Google Gallery,
Yes,
and then Google Photos.
correct.
So the gallery is what you could make, your
Yeah, and I
different
use Gallery more than I do Google Photos also.
right, but then all the pictures that are in your Google Gallery are also in Google
Right.
Photos. Now, isn't Google Photos the one that goes to the cloud or something?
Well, okay, you have a Google Drive, and on that drive, you will have Google Photos, you will have Google, you'll have your Gmail, you'll have any other documents that you've saved to the Google Drive, so you can have it for multi-purpose. I have, well, let's take a look at my Google Drive.
But see, what she was saying on her Google Photos, there isn't, it's just, you bring it up and it's just all full of pictures.
Yeah, and but like I said, in my Google Gallery on my phone, I've set up that with, I try to put things in albums.
Right,
And
in
so-
the gallery. In your Google Gallery.
Right, but those same folders are now in Google Photos.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, they're just duplicate of that. And so if I want to go in and look for something, I know where to look.
Now, if another one, if I wanted to save those pictures to my external hard drive.
You can do that, and that I recommend that you have a backup doing just that too.
Okay, now do I have to take it from Google Photos, put it on my computer? And then, or can you just somehow. look it
Well,
up?
you can do it from your phone to another external drive, but that will probably be a slower process. And you won't be able to see without the computer sitting in the middle of it, you're not gonna have a nice big screen to be able to organize things. So my recommendation would be to organize them the way that you want, from doing a copy from your phone to your computer. And then move all of that over to, or reorganize it with Google Drive. Okay,
Thank you.
so if you're in, where am I? If you're in Google Chrome. This little grid menu here. Will have all the Google or applications, and you can move these around however you want. I put these in this specific order because I use them, you know, the ones I don't use are down here, the things I use more often are up here. So if I go to my Google Drive, then you will see that I have a copy of tonight's meeting here. I have, so that's in my Charlotte County Computer Group folder. I have another folder here and I've named it G-AAUW so that I know that these are the things that I've moved to my Google Drive, as opposed to those things that I just want to have resident on my computer and don't need to put on the drive to share with someone else or to transport someplace else. So let's open this up, and I don't have anything sitting there.
Are we likely to be duplicating things in the drive that would take up our space? If we have albums and folders?
Your album is just a way to organize your photos. You're not adding any significant amount of storage at all. It's like, okay, if I have a manila folder and I want to put these pages in it, I really haven't added any substance to the whole thing, right? Only thing I've done is I've made them easier to find, because now I can pick up a manila folder and just look at here rather than the thousands of sheets of paper that I have loose.
So you won't have duplicates in gallery and in the folder?
Well, you may have them stored in both places, in multiple places. Like on your phone, and everything that, all the pictures that I take on my phone automatically go to my Google Photos account. Now, you notice here that it says I've used a little over, well, 17.5 gigabytes of 100 gigabytes. Recently, I was, well, you know, a year, was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago, June 30th, they said, if you don't have everything in there, or whatever you have, whatever you add after June 30th of this year, we're gonna start charging you for it. If you put it in before that date, it's still gonna be free. So I got into a big rush to get everything out there, but what was actually taking up my storage were things that were in Google Slides. I had a whole bunch of slides that that I saved. Let's go to where I recently got rid of a whole bunch of stuff here, so I may not even have it. But I used to have a oh, here we go. These are different class notes that I took, and that was probably a couple of years ago. But anyway, I got a memo saying, okay, if you're about running out of space and you don't have any more space, so you're not going to be able to save anything to the drive, and we're going to start dropping things off. And I said, oh, well, I don't want to do that. It was, I don't know, 99 cents or $1.99 a month to get 100 gig, and I said, I'm not going to run out of space if I get 100 gig of cloud storage, because the only time I use cloud storage is the back of my photos and any documents that I've saved on my phone that may or may not have been saved on my computer. And anything I may want to share with someone else. Like I sent the presentation for tonight's meeting to Mark, Because he's going to be running the same thing I am on the Zoom session. So by doing that, he has a copy of it and it'll, because the Zoom session hasn't been picking up the video very well, is that correct, Mark? Yeah. It's been blurred, so instead of having, or dark or something, instead of having that issue, we're running a duplicate of the presentation through the Zoom session tonight. But anyway. I thought that $1.99 a month, or I don't remember what the period was, the time frame, but I thought that that was a reasonable amount. And since I've only used 17.5 gigabytes for the last 3 to 5 years, I think I'm safe. Now, in the last 2 months, I've used 2.5 gigabyte of that. So maybe I'm not as safe as I think, but I still think at 2.5 gigabytes, I'm not gonna run out of space anytime soon. And the way to prevent myself from getting to running out of space is to make sure that if I no longer need it on a drive that I want to share with someone else, like I want to pull it up on my phone to show somebody, because that's another thing you can do. Anything that's in that drive, you can pull up on your phone, you can pull up on your computer, you can pull up on your tablet. Just by going to the Google Drive, or in the case, Terry was asking me about OneDrive, same thing with OneDrive. If you have it on OneDrive, it's in the cloud, and you'll be able to pull it down on any other device that you can sign into your OneDrive account with. So, and that would be the only criteria, you would be able to sign in on that new device into that account. I don't really use OneDrive very much. The only time I use it is for specific documents for specific organizations. So I use my Google Drive a lot more, partly because I'm using it already with my phone, and partly because it's a little simpler to get to. But personally, I really don't like having a lot of things sitting out in the cloud. I would prefer to have a backup that is to an external hard drive of some sort, a physical drive that I can then move and store offsite. Okay, does everyone understand why I would want to do that? Does anyone not understand why I would want to do that? Okay. We'll go on then. Do we have any more questions? Yes, Nanette, hold on a second. She's a sprinter, she's coming to you.
Better halfway.
I have a laptop that's maybe 3 to 5 years old that has Windows 10 on it. Not capable, I think is the word, of accepting Windows 11. Would it be worth my while? And are you as a group able to maybe install Windows 11 on it? Or would it be better just to get a new laptop with Windows on it?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that in 2 parts. Number one, if it says that it is not capable of accepting Windows 11, I wouldn't push it. I wouldn't try to install Windows 11. Some people have, but the problem is that if Microsoft decides they're going to start enforcing some of the rules that they put out there, and they have bent the rules a little bit to allow certain things to happen and to be able to install without having that criteria. If they decide to tighten that up and enforce that, you're gonna be dead in the water. Number two, you ask, oh my God, I'm on Windows 10, I can't go to Windows 11. Do I have to get a new computer? No. Okay, there are still members that we have that are still on Windows 7. There's some in here, or maybe not in here, but we still have some on Windows XP. Now we're talking 20 years ago, right? If your computer is still satisfying your needs, don't worry about it. If your computer is running slower than you would like, there may be other ways to fine tune it and to make sure that it runs more efficiently. One of the issues that I've seen lately, matter of fact, I had 3 people in one day that came in and said, I have Windows 11 and I don't like it. It's slower than Windows 10. So, I did some research, and there are a lot of people that have complained that Windows 11 is slower. Well, it's slower because of some of the things that Microsoft has set as their defaults. You can get around that. So if you're having an issue where you have 11 and you kind of like it, but you don't like it because it's slower, bring it in and let's see if we can fine tune it. There are several things that it does. Oh, okay, let me give you an example that you might be able to relate to. Some antivirus programs check every keystroke or every time you hit the enter key. And each time you do anything on there, it's doing it real time. It's protecting you 100% 24/7, and it's adding an awful lot of overhead because it's doing it in real time. There are other antivirus programs that kind of say, well, you haven't done anything significant for a while, so I'm gonna check to see if I have any new signatures, which are new requirements or new threats that I've seen in the Netherlands here. And I'm gonna see if any of that activity is going on in your machine, but I'm not gonna check it every half second or every nanosecond. I'm gonna check it every 15 minutes or every 2 hours or every 4 hours. Or I'm gonna wait until the next day when all the updates are coming in for everything else. So it depends upon how the computer is set up. Microsoft has in Windows 11 chosen to do a very tight kind of micromanagement here. I'm going to look over your shoulder for every keystroke you're doing. Well, it may not be exactly that, but it's kind of the same principle. So instead of panicking every time you write the next word in a document, it's gonna wait until you kind of get to the end and say, okay, I'll do spell check and all this stuff now, as opposed to every single keystroke. Does that make sense? Okay, now let me ask another question. You said it's 3 to 5 years old. My computer's 3 years old, and I'm perfectly satisfied with mine. It's very responsive, so I don't have an issue. If I was having an issue, then yeah, I might start looking in the marketplace. So, are you satisfied with what you have? Then don't touch it.
But then
But then I understand, or maybe I misunderstand, that Windows will stop sending updates for 10, like in October or something like that?
October of 2025.
Oh,
So you've got 2 more years. This is 2023, so 2 years from now, take a look at your machine and decide whether you think it's going to be an issue. Now, another thing is, if you're going out and you're buying a new computer, I would not buy a new computer that has Windows 10 on it. If you're going out to buy a new computer, I would always buy whatever the latest operating system is. Do you agree with that, Mark, or did you grunt?
No, I totally agree with it.
Okay, I thought I heard a grunt over there, so I was just asking. Okay,
I was also gonna say that you're gonna start hearing about Windows 12 here very soon.
they're doing beta testing on Windows 12, and they're even doing some things on 13. Or whatever they're going to call it when it comes out, because we don't know what it's going to be when it actually hits the when it's out to the public. It could be, remember when they started numbering things a little differently and they kind of skipped 10 generations with the phones and things? You could do the same thing. Well, they skipped 9, they went to 10, and they said they would never do anything after 10, that it was always gonna be 10 from now on. Well, that lasted 4 or 5 years. They said, oh, we think we wanna call this 11. And, you know, some of the things in 11 are cosmetic, but some of the things are a little more critical as to the performance. And the ones that I disagree with are the ones that are under the hood and kind of buried in the default settings. And you kind of have to look for them or be very specific in how you question, you know, why something's happening. So, but I wouldn't move away from 10. Yes, okay, oh, that wasn't another question, I thought you were raising your hand, okay. Okay, anyone else? Okay. Harold's back. Yeah. We missed you, Harold, you asked a lot of questions. Yeah. Okay, you have a question for us? You have a question for us? Good, give him the mic. Harold's always good for questions. Of course, he's, yeah, we'll let you sit down first. Of course, Harold's really good in asking questions when he's on Zoom. He's not as, he's not as, he's a little more timid when he's here in the audience. I don't know why. Oh, he has to find a seat. Okay, Harold has some bigger questions. He has to know what seat he's going to sit in. Okay.
Okay, Mary, I'm here.
Okay,
Uh,
talk into it.
okay. On Google Photo,
Talk into it.
Google Picture
Yes.
used to be editing for free. And they don't allow it anymore. On the Google network, on the computer, you can't do it on the cell phone. Any explanations on that?
I wasn't aware of it.
You were not aware of it?
No.
See, I taught you something new.
Yeah, taught me something new. Well, let's find out.
Try it once.
Okay, so you're trying to edit a photo.
On Google Photo and try
Okay.
to edit a picture.
Okay, so let me see if I can, let me find. Let's go to pictures. And we talked about Bahamas, let's just go to the Bahamas.
I cannot do it on Windows 10, nor can I do it on Windows 11.
Okay, so this is a photo. And I have it just brought up in Microsoft Pictures. Let's see if I can open this with. Okay, open with, where are you there? Open with. Choose another app.
We did the last time under the Google marks there and just those photos.
Okay, let me,
Gmail,
yeah, I'll go to my G drive.
G Drive. Go to-
Okay, let me. I don't know that this photo will look here, so I will move it in. You'll be able just to move it in, right? This is new. New, okay. File, upload.
Now you're in Drive.
Yeah.
No, he's talking about photos.
So
Right there, yeah,
Okay.
photos, down at the bottom there, it's like a whirly gig. left.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
That's what he said.
Okay. So let's
Just take one of these pictures.
take this and move it in. Okay. Uploading to, there we go. And you want to edit it from here. I don't see any tools showing.
Here's like.
Oh, thank you very much. I forgot that. Okay, so let's see.
Someone used to be able to do all kinds of things, make it lighter.
Okay, let's do this. Edit. Whoops.
You have all the tools on Google Photo.
On a computer, go to photos.google.com. Open the photo you want to edit and say adjust, okay? So let's do that. So we're going to go to okay, it brought me to the same place, and then it said they wanna edit and then say adjust. I didn't see that.
Right.
Just click on one of those pictures down there.
Yeah, you gotta open the photo.
Okay, select photo.
Click on one of those pictures.
Okay, do this one. Okay, and let's see. Remove, no, I don't want to remove it. And I have print or say it's a favorite or something.
Up there in your, top right,
Top right. Here, let me give this full
down,
screen. here.
down, 3 dots. Yeah. 3
This
dots,
one?
right?
Okay. Let's go to edit.
You're not opening Google Photos and see it says opening Google Photos. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna slideshow. Okay, let's go back. Whoops, I lost it. I don't see where that,
Usually there is a.
at the top right, click edit adjust. In the top right, edit adjust,
That's what it used to be.
and it's no longer there. Let's see if we have it over here.
That's why I asked you.
Yeah, I don't see it.
You can do it on the cell phone though.
Okay, and there's a group that is now part of APCUG, which is an organization that our group, Charlotte County Computer Group, belongs to. And one of the contributors to that is Kristen Harrell and Jim Gould. And they have let's see, what are they called? Tech on Wheels or something? And their specialty is Google, all things Google. Google Drive, Google Photos, and they show all kinds of different techniques. I will send a matter of fact, let's do this, oh, no, yeah, I can do that. Let's look out, let's go to YouTube. There it is, right? Go to YouTube. We will do Chris.
Mary,
Yeah,
they're called Geeks on Tour.
Geeks on Tour.
And I
Geeks on
just
Tour.
joined them last week.
Good. Geeks. Geeks on Tour right here. Oh, yeah, and, a couple weeks ago. Donna was, highlighted on the APCUG program as a contributor. You made a donation to, not to Geeks on Tour, but APCUG, of which Geeks on Tour is, part of. So, let's see. Fun with photos. This is one that they did just the other day, scanning old photos and, yeah, this is the one they did just the other day. I believe that she may have even talked about that. So let's,
Goes into digital form.
okay. It's actually working. It's actually, the sound is coming in. Dennis? Dennis? Well, we can't turn it down. So that, if you don't mind shouting, I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And this has a lot to do with Google Photos.
And into Google Photos. Well, you could,
Gotta tone it down before we. We need to turn the sound down. It's actually coming through the speakers tonight without interference. Listen to this.
it's expensive scanning
Can we turn that down, please? My volume is turned off. Oh, wait a minute, let me see. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. I'll turn it down here. Okay, let's try this again.
equipment and learn how to use the software that comes with it. You,
Is that too loud?
yes.
I thought that was still too loud, so let's turn that down. Let's try that.
Might have to take pictures out
That's
of your
better,
photo
okay.
albums to put on the scanner. I think it's easiest just to take your smartphone and snap pictures with your smartphone's camera. But there are two cool apps that work in conjunction with Google Photos. PhotoMine and PhotoScan, actually by Google, that I want to show you.
Now, this PhotoMime, she did a nice presentation in here on PhotoMime. So this is something that I was going to research and do for one of my classes, but I think she does a better job. So let's go ahead and play this all the way through without my interruptions. And-
Some of this will depend on the type of person you are. I'm the type of person that I'll just be thumbing through an old photo album. And I'll see this photo of Marty and think, I've just been talking to her on Facebook and this is a great picture. I need to get it and send it to her. So I will just pick up my phone and open the camera. Try to get it so that there's not too much glare. And I'll snap a picture of the picture. It's on my phone, meaning it's gonna go to Google Photos. I can do some editing to it. That's wonderful.
And keep going off.
And then I
You
see
can really
the
straighten
picture of
this
him
this
being
photo.
Santa Claus with a bunch of kids. These kids are now 40 years old. That's a great shot. I'll just take my phone and snap a picture. But some people are much more thorough than me. They'll see this photo album and they say, I want to capture every photo. That's what PhotoMine is for. I want to show you an app called PhotoMine, which is the quickest and easiest way to get all of these photos scanned. It is a
Carol, this
separate
goes
app
back to something
on
you were
either
asking about.
Android or iOS. But once you have it installed, you can also access it right in Google Photos. So PhotoMine is a separate app. You install it from the Play Store on Android or the App Store on iPhone. And that is what it looks like. And you can use it just as a standalone app. It will let you save to Google Photos when you're done. But I just want to show you how you get to it in Google Photos. And then you tap Library, Utilities, scroll down to import photos, and then Photo Mine right there. Now, you can use it for free if you tap up here at the top where it says ads are okay. But you will want to pay the $40 a year if you decide you really want to use it. So once you have it going, you just tap on scan at the bottom. And you just point at the page, the whole page of photos. You tap and hold the shutter button for just a couple seconds and watch how it separates out the individual photos. I'm not touching anything here. And now I can scan another page. Ooh, there's a lot of glare.
You notice it also got rid of some of that glare. It did another processing on top of it. So this is a very good program for some of those pictures that are compromised.
On this one. Touch and hold on the shutter button. And notice how it's making the pictures look better. That's just magic. Now I'm on the third page, touch and hold the shutter button. Is this amazing or what? Fourth page, touch and hold.
She won't go through the whole album.
I think you get the idea. And when you're done, you tap done. It says that I've captured 12 photos. It creates an album within Photo Mine, which I can name if I want, but I just want them to go straight to Google Photos. You tap the share button, connect to Google Photos, and save to Google Photos. 12 photos were saved. I can go take a look. And there are the photos I just scanned. Don't they look great? Remember when I complained about the glare? I'm going to show you another app called PhotoScan by Google that will eliminate that. PhotoScan is an app by Google. I can get to it from my Photos app. Now I just get the picture in frame and tap the button. And now it's going to say, circle those 4 dots. And it takes a picture with each of the dots. When it puts them all together, the glare will be gone. Let's do another. Tap it. Then you move the circle over each dot.
You know how when you're taking a photo of a photo with your camera, you have all these lights overhead and they always are glaring in the wrong spot? That would eliminate that.
Now, if yours isn't doing that, it might be because you have the glare control off. And that's that little button right there. If there's a slash through it, then it's not going to do the glare control. So let's do one more. Notice it also has a flash. The purpose of the flash is to get rid of the reflections. Then the purpose of the 4 shots is to get rid of the glare from the flash. All right. Then I'll show you how that.
Yeah, she just brought up another problem with taking a picture of a picture or a picture of a document with your phone. You always have yourself, there's a shadow of that. You can hold it off to the side, but your hands or whatever are still shadowing that page. And some applications are good at removing that and some are not. So here I am looking at Google Photos, and here are the 3 shots I just took from that big framed collage on the wall. Not bad. The next photo, that looks pretty good, and the third one. Once you scan photos are in Google Photos, there's a couple of things I want to mention.
So remember that first photo I took of Marty where I just used my phone's camera and snapped a shot from the photo album? Well, this one needs some editing. So I'm just gonna tap it, edit, I'm in Google Photos, and the main thing I wanna do is crop. Now, in Google Photos on the Android, I could actually crop to the skew, which is kind of cool, but it's usually not necessary. When I'm done, notice how it straightens it out, but even with just a normal crop, I can get in closer and she looks lots better. Now, under suggestions, I'm gonna try dynamic. Ooh, I think that looks really good. I have to, it's forcing me to save a copy. So I might go back out and now delete the old one. And then there's the photo of Jim as Santa Claus. Let's make that one look a little bit better. Crop. And then suggestions and dynamic. And that looks pretty good. Save copy. Delete the original. But now, what's wrong with this picture? This says that these pictures were taken today. Well, I did snap the photo of the photos today, but these were taken in 1994. I'm going to change the date. I can do it both at the same time by selecting both of them. Then one of the options at the bottom is to edit date and time. And I'm going to select one date and time. So I'm going to edit the date. And then I like to pick from drop-down list. I'll tap here and I'll find 1994. And then I can just scroll over till I see December and I'll tap on December 20. I really don't know when exactly it was, but that's near enough. Okay, and save. They look like they've disappeared. I can scroll back in my photos all the way to 1994. And there are the two photos that I just changed the dates for. Now go have some fun scanning all your old photos.
Okay, yes, Gary. Wrap up?
Yes.
It's time to go. So I had another one that I wanted to share with you, but if you come to my class next Tuesday afternoon in the office or on Zoom from 2 to 4, I will cover that particular program at that time. And that one is taking a black and white photo or something from many, many years ago. That's all the one I have that I did a lot of work on was one that was a really weird kind of reddish tint all the way through, but it was basically a black and white photo. And I ran it through multiple iterations of trying different things to colorize it. And some of them turned out really nice, and I was able to edit which of those things I wanted to fine tune it with. So come to the class next Tuesday afternoon and we'll go through that. Okay, thank you very much. We'll come back in just a few minutes.